participants of the meeting, friends. We are here to pay homage to the stalwarts of the science movement of India. Of course, Yashpalji and Rao, these names we are hearing for a long time. I know them only through the press. I had the privilege of knowing Dr. Pushpa Bhargava personally for the last 3.5 decades from Hyderabad. All three of them really made big contribution in the science movement. They are the real patriots. They are the real nationalists. They built Indian science movement. And today, while we are paying them homage, it is not only remembering their contribution in the science, for the scientific temper and for the scientific outlook. Dr. Pushpa Bhargava made a very big contribution. There are people's doctors, people's lawyers, and I call Dr. Bhargava as a people's scientist. He tried to bring the science and scientific outlook to the common people. I attended quite a large number of meetings. He used to be very busy. It used to be sometimes very difficult to meet him. But Chandanaji used to help us sometimes to have quick access to meet him. And I would like to share only a few of my experiences with you. There are quite a number of scientists who made big contribution to the science movement, but at the same time not associated with the general people because of their commitment and because of their nature of the work also. Professionally, they are scientists. They have scientific outlook. They may share with a small group of people, but Dr. Bhargava wanted to take this science to the people. There was, and there continues to be in Hyderabad, a big, what should I say, program every year. This fish medicine for asthma. And Dr. Bhargava made a very big campaign on this, against this fish medicine. Asthma is a very normal disease nowadays, and people used to come from far off places, from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Orissa, and even from North India. And some medicine will be put in small fish and put it in the mouth of the patient. And it became more popular with ministers and big IAS, IPS officers participating in it. Once Dr. Bhargava started a campaign against it, there was a big response and big debate was going on. In the press also, a lot of debate was there whether this medicine is useful or not. And later, as a matter of fact, the ministers were afraid of going to participate in this function. They just wanted to have some photograph on the inauguration of this type of function and all that. So I do remember that this one Mr. Arnath Gaud, whose family tradition is this fish medicine. He came to us and requested that we should request Dr. Bhargava not to carry this campaign and all that. We told him nobody can stop it. And only to see to it that he is fighting to stop you from giving this type of medicine and all that. Then against Jyotish and all that. He addressed a number of meetings in the Osmania University campus and outside also. And on that, there was quite a good response from large sections of the people. But one interesting thing is one day, suddenly he sent a message that against the attack on Palestine and Iran, there should be a campaign and asked us to come to Charminar. So we thought that he will just address a meeting. But at that age, he walked all through up to the exhibition grounds. Yes, I think in the midday in summer, for more than 2.5 kilometers or 3 kilometers, he walked along with us in the procession and all that. In between, Hyderabad MP, S.Sudhakar Reddy and myself, we all requested him to get into the car and all that, but he was so enthusiastic that so many thousands of people are there. So we should participate. And very interesting thing is it is not organized by any parties, but it is given by the call of intellectuals headed by Dr. Bhargava. And really several thousands of people participated in this campaign and all that. So that is how he used to fight against imperialism, against the obscurantism, against the unscientific attitude in the life of the people in the society and all that. At this juncture, when after the NDA government has come to power, right from the Prime Minister, unscientific outlook is being propagated shamelessly in such a big way. And he has shown a way by returning back the Padma Bhushan awards. And that may be the reason why Prime Minister failed to pay homage to such a big scientist after his death. It is not an insult to Dr. Bhargava, but a shame on the Prime Minister of this country that he cannot pay homage to one of the biggest scientists in this country. I do remember that about a decade back, when I was in Japan for a conference, one of the scientists came. He was also a member of parliament. He came and asked me about some of the scientists and all. He was interested to know. I was not knowing many of the scientists' names in our country. To be frank, I was feeling shy that I couldn't say many names and all that. But I could say something about his role and the heads of his roles and all that. Because I am not a scientist and I am not a science student, I was not doing it. But when I told that I know Dr. Pushpa Bhargava, he was so thrilled. He said, "You know him personally? You met him personally and all that." Then he was telling one very interesting thing about the Nehruvian legacy of making modern India. He was introducing me to another friend. He comes from India. And India is a country where more than 50 lakhs to 1 crore scientists are there, bigger the population of many of the European countries. And he said, it is Jawaharlal Nehru who is responsible to make this country as a country with scientists and all that. So that is how the image of Dr. Bhargava is spread to other countries and other continents also. Now at this juncture, only what I can appeal is that we should fight against obscurantism, against unscientific ideas that are getting propagated in the country. That is the real homage which we can pay to our scientists and Dr. Bhargava and all that. This is going to be a very big fight, not an easy thing. The death of the big scientists is a bad loss, but at the same time, it should give us the courage to carry on the fight for the values for which they fought. Thank you.